You don't, do you?
No Eric, no Dave.
Eric said he wasn't coming.
Yeah, Eric said he wasn't coming, and Maura said she wasn't coming. I feel like October is hard for us.
I'm not sure why there were minutes, to be honest with you.
Is there any action?
So we leave it.
We tabled with Jay. Get back to order. He was a little unfair.
That's fair.
I mean,
He owned up to
Trying
it.
to get him to come
He
tonight.
owned up to it, yeah.
Yeah.
On-
Somewhat, he was somewhat confused as to, for the biggest
Oh.
part, it was Dave's
Ordinance.
suggestion. He assumed what was sent to him was suggestions, and Jay put quite a bit of work into writing.
Well, looking at other towns
Yeah.
Yeah.
and kind of
I think I was
adapting
saying-
rather than adapting David.
Instead of using what was
He-
provided.
that was-
he
that was-
rewrote.
Eye-opening to him
Oh.
when he realized that what he had been sent was a proposal.
Okay, so on my phone I have 6.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Next one?
Like,
Time is 6:01 PM. We will call the regular meeting for the City of Caribou Planning Board, Thursday, October 3rd at 6 PM, or 6:01. We have a quorum. Are there any disclosures of conflicts of interest? Hearing none, we will move on. Item number 2, public input. Penny? Is there-
Yes, we have Ariel here to talk about her project and during public input.
Alright. My name is Ariel Shaw. I purchased property at 266 and 262 Belanger Road. And we are looking to utilize the 2-car detached garage and put in a small meat processing facility, I guess you would call it. We're going to take half the garage. It's going to be an 8x8 walk-in cooler, an 8x14 processing area, and a 12x14 skinning room. I'm not set up to have animals brought there, so there will be no killing of animals at the location at this time. And I have to go through, because it's rural 3, I have to get approval to put it in.
And she did
For
bring in her
zoning.
site design review application
Okay.
today.
So it's in an R3 zone,
Yeah.
and we have meat processing as planning board approval? Yeah.
Well, if you want, it has it, you actually don't have it listed as how we look at it in the United States. It's got the French terminology for it, so it's abattoir.
Yes, yeah.
So, I could have slid by flinging ignorance on that.
It wouldn't have slid past Penny.
No, it might have.
I was trying to give you the
Unless
benefit
you
of the doubt.
watched Ferdinand, you wouldn't know it. Most people wouldn't.
Right.
Because that's where they send the losers when you're watching the cartoon.
Oh. Oh.
Well, it's
So-
it's in the land use table, it's the first.
It is,
first item
yeah.
in the land use.
So,
This is Clarence and Debbie's old place?
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, the horse farm, the indoor and everything, we're utilizing that for its purpose. This is just something we did.
Absolutely.
We sold our facility in New York. It's not our first time doing it. We were custom exempt there. The plan is just to do game right now, and then I'll finish the skinning area to completion, and we'll have USDA approval to do custom exempt again.
It's a good-sized garage, adequate
Yeah.
for all of your needs?
I
Close?
can't do the 1,200-pound cows we were doing there, and I am perfectly fine for that. They're a little heavy to be lifting. So,
Okay.
but everything I've seen around here is gonna hang about 500, so I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay.
And then I don't have to worry about working all the time, so it will be nice.
Is there state licensing to go through for that?
For game animals, there's no regulations.
Not for game, but
Not
for...
really. For livestock, yes, it's through USDA.
Yeah,
And-
and that's the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, and they come
Mhm.
in, and for the custom exempt,
Mhm.
they have to approve the facility. I have to get a
Yep.
water test done,
Yep.
and I know all the paperwork, and I've taken care of that before.
But not for game.
Nope, for game, you don't need anything.
Interesting.
Yep.
So you said 500 pounds?
Yeah,
Moose run like
Mm,
800,
800, 900.
up.
yeah, you take the head off, the leg off, and the hide off, to drop
You're
them down
fine
to
then?
about 600.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's nothing.
But
I'm
you'd
set
have-
up for that.
You'd have a hoist kind of
Oh, yeah, I've got the
thing.
hoist up in and things like that.
Okay.
I'm just, it's a 9.5-foot ceiling instead of the 12 I had, so it'll just limit us. And I'm okay with that. I don't need to be doing large cows. I'd prefer to do the smaller beef breeds, so. Any other questions?
When are you planning on, so we'll see this package next month?
Next meeting, yeah.
Next meeting, and are you on a time constraint? Like, I know hunting season is about to, when are you looking to start slicing and dicing?
Everything is all set. I'm waiting for the pool bot to arrive to do the walk-in
Okay, and when is that supposed to arrive?
tomorrow.
Wow.
I suggest we set up
Something sooner.
something sooner, so
Okay.
we're not the holdup.
Okay.
I think I'm not planning on doing the custom exempt until I have to go through
Right.
USDA for the
Right.
game animal.
But archery opens up Saturday, so
Yeah.
it's coming.
So.
Okay. So you need to, does that require public notification?
I'll read through it and find out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll just need to set up a time, another meeting in,
You can do it when you do the workshop.
Yeah, especially if you want to do a workshop for the neglectful acts, maybe we could just do it at the same time.
right, but how much time do you need to,
Get the notification.
Public notice.
The great thing about planning board meetings being on Thursday is we can still get it in the paper for like Wednesday. So it's a lot easier to do than like council meetings are on a Monday.
right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, so the week of the 17th, that's Moose Week #2 for the
Yeah.
state. So and then Monday's a holiday,
Right.
Yeah, I'm away that whole week.
the
for
whole
training.
week.
I'll
Can we
be
have-
getting back Friday. Like the flight gets into Bangor at like 11 a.m. and
And we can't
then I
do
drive home.
next Thursday, as we argued.
Yeah.
That's
no,
why we're here tonight.
Yeah.
That's the 24th, unless we pick a different night.
I will not be here the 24th, but you guys do not need me. You're not back until the 18th, Penny, you said?
Yep.
Can we have, 22nd?
Let's see. Well, my calendar is showing me in November already.
Too far, Penny.
Yeah, too far. I can do the 22nd. All my stuff is earlier in the day. I don't, unless we end up
Ooh, I cannot do the
having Riverfront. I don't think.
about it.
Maybe I can.
Or the 23rd.
I will
That's a
not be here the
Wednesday. Okay, you're
23rd,
not gonna be there
24th,
then.
and 25th.
And even the 21st, Monday the 21st, I'm here.
We can do the 21st. There's not a council meeting?
Nope.
Well, let's do the 21st.
Okay. Does that work for you, Monday
Yes,
the
it does.
21st? Okay.
Alright, well,
How about down here? Monday
Yep.
the 21st,
Good.
okay? Okay. Monday, 10/21.
Would you like me to come back if there's any questions? or-
Yeah, why don't you just come back, and then if they have any questions with the application or whatever, you'll be here to answer questions.
Perfect, I can do that.
And if you have, you can even send pictures if you want, we can put them on the screen.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
People love to learn things, so it could be good.
Do chickens count as game?
No,
No, actually, they fall under a completely different process.
Oh, no kidding.
So, in, well, at least in New York, the regulations, I believe it is through the USDA, you can do 1,000 of them yourself or through somebody else, and you can sell them commercially
Yeah.
without having to be licensed.
Oh,
And
interesting.
up from there, up to 19,999, then you fall under another position in USDA for processing.
Interesting.
At 6 o'clock on the 21st?
Yep.
Yeah.
Chickens are so simple.
I know. I just don't want to do it.
Do you have chickens at your house, Amanda?
I'm butchering them on the 20th.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, that's a Sunday.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, I just got a text from my daughter. Her half a cow came today that they ordered. It's from over in Mapleton, so she's excited.
Very good. No council liaison updates, I'm assuming?
Nope.
New business. Is that why we have?
Yes, we have
Karen?
Bethany. Bethany is here about mission and vision.
Yes.
And Ariel, you're welcome to stay, but you don't have to stay. Like either one. We're going to talk about the comprehensive plan, though, so it'll be riveting and zoning.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll do a little introduction. I guess.
Okay.
Please come to the microphone.
So people at home can hear.
So to prepare and put together the comprehensive plan, Penny and I talked it over, and we've engaged the services of Bethany Zell, who is a graphic artist and does those kinds of things. So she has started putting together the document for us to make it all hang together, look nice, and have uniformity in all the texts, okay? So we've asked her to come in, and we have a lot of material. I think we talked about this last month. We have a lot of material from our public meetings on what the community wants for Caribou in the next 10 years, right? And you all have been to a lot of those meetings. And so she's sifted through all the public input, and the purpose of what we're going to do right now in the next, 20 minutes or so is look at the vision and the mission, which will be in the front of the comp plan. So she's done some initial work, and you can see the graphics right there, and we're going to let her kind of guide you through the process at this point.
Karen, do you want to give that to Ariel? If she's going to sit here, she might want to just follow along.
Thank you, Karen.
All right. Hi. So,
Welcome, Bethany.
Welcome, Bethany.
many of you were at either one or more of the meetings that we had in the community to talk about the different vision and things that people wanted to see to get the public input that's required for the comprehensive planning. And you should have in your packet a handout that outlines the vision and the mission that we've determined based, and what we did to garner these was we took last year's vision. I don't know if you all are familiar with our lovely comprehensive plan from 10 years ago. Our vision was pretty simple, and we've kind of kept it the same way, but we've integrated more of some of the words and things that kind of came out in those visioning sessions that we conducted. So if you're looking at the handout, this is what the vision page will look like in the comprehensive plan. And then we have a mission that's kind of broken it down. And so when we're talking about vision and mission, vision is kind of how we see things, how we want to see things develop. And then the mission is the different things that we'll do to move us closer to that vision. And so in our previous comprehensive plan, under the mission, we had 4 different kind of bullet statements, things that we were actively committed to do, which we repurposed that phraseology here. And so we've kind of encapsulated everything under these 3 big headers of quality of life, business, and recreation and wellness, kind of an overhead. And as you can imagine, there are many categories that cross over, and the lines blur pretty significantly, even as Karen and I were trying to go through and target like which things belong under which category. It was sometimes difficult to detect because there is such an overlap. But what we're aiming to do in the short time that I'm hoping to work with you all tonight is on this page, we have an area where we're going to really kind of come up with some action steps that we want to commit to that will support these mission statements. And so we had those in our original plan. I'll be honest, I don't really know how many of these were achieved in our 10 years that we were working on them. I think overarchingly, we've handled a lot of them. And because when you put so many different bullet points out there, it kind of puts more of a target on you as far as what we're committing to and how detailed we get. And then in 10 years, when we come back to this, we're going to have a whole lot of promises, maybe that either we're only halfway done or somewhat done. So we narrowed it down to these 3 different categories.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Can we do a debrief on the last comprehensive plan? Or are you saying absolutely no?
I think we should just go forward with.
No, I meant like after this. Like after this one's all done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like,
Or we
I'm
can,
just
like, for the
curious.
next meeting, we
Yes.
can kind of like
Yeah.
say, okay,
Yes,
yeah, we missed this,
But
you know.
I just, there are a lot, we've just tried to do a new comprehensive plan.
Which is, I think it's great. I mean,
Okay.
I was just wondering. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
And no, we can do that.
Yeah,
after.
and I think it's important because I think some of them, I mean, for example, one of the things under supporting and enhancing, which I guess this would fall under our recreational piece, which is the third pillar, redeveloping the riverfront as a prime 4-season recreation area. So that's something that it's taken us a long time to get to that place. There are steps being taken now, but you know, if we can encapsulate some of these a little further and maybe cluster more of them together, it'll be easier to, I guess, hold ourselves accountable to it, I guess, if we don't have a zillion different things that we're promising to do in each of these. And if, I don't know how familiar, probably should have had a copy made of this.
Yeah,
because
I'm
this
trying to
is-
pull it up, but
We
I think
have
should go-
copies,
I think-
but-
I think we can just go forward.
don't?
And you and I can kind of see, because
Because a lot of these were not ones that we wanted to repurpose, but it would give you an idea of the kind of statements that we're
Right.
looking for, I guess.
Is that something you
can-
could
we
email
can-
to me?
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I have not seen
what,
it.
the old plan?
The old
Yeah.
one?
No.
Okay, well, we've been
Yeah.
giving you stuff
Okay.
2 years.
Oh, yeah, but
I know, he
haven't
hasn't been on
I haven't
board.
been here
Oh,
that
that's
long.
Yeah.
It's on the website
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I can't seem to pull it up, but that's okay. I'm gonna pull it up on the P
It's-
drive.
It would be
I know
on the
it's on
planning
there.
board, but whatever.
Okay.
So, the other thing I just want to mention is a lot of this has been written and provided to you for review.
Yeah.
So that we want it, one of the things we get quote unquote graded on is the consistency of this plan. So, especially myself, I was at all the meetings and I have a lot of input from what's in the plan, that there are some really, I feel, some specific things, but this is not the Karen and Bethany and Penny show, hopefully, but so far it's been a lot of that, unfortunately. But we have all these things that, you know, we've actually come up with some of these bullets, okay? But we wanted to hear from you, are things that were talked about in those sections, okay? You'll recognize the recurring themes if you were at those meetings about what people want in Caribou. Okay, so, Bethany, take
Okay.
it away.
So, looking at the first one, supporting a safe and welcoming quality of life that encourages people of all ages to make Caribou home. And so under these, what came out in the community were, of course, family-friendly, all ages, age-friendly. These are all keywords that we definitely want to have encapsulated in whatever bullet points, action steps that we're looking to take under this category of quality of life.
And safety.
Safety. was
Public
under there, too.
safety,
That was a big
which
one.
would encapsulate, you know, and each of these things could be its own big
Big.
chapter,
Well, they are.
section, and they are going to be delved deeper into. So that's why we don't have to get too far into the weeds with each of these. We're really just looking for action steps that will move us closer. So some of the things that came up under this category were family-friendly, all ages, public safety, blight reduction, and housing, kind of a twofer. Working about providing affordable and workforce housing, public health, different kinds of trails, supporting our rec programs, our Carrie and Pines wellness programs in the community, encouraging cultural events, entertainment, preserving our historical areas, incorporating diversity, and then education. All of these things kind of encapsulate things that make a good quality of life. So when we talk about those things, we can think about some of the things that Caribou's already doing. And obviously, we've got the rec program that will be covered kind of in that third section. But of those few things that I just mentioned, which of these are we thinking are the highest priority as far as what needs to be, what we need to commit to, really, as a city over the next 10 years? What are the things that we're looking to focus on the most?
I would just, I think housing, because we have a housing,
It's a hot topic.
it's a hot topic. We have our, Dave's on what committee is that? The housing committee?
Well,
I
he's
can't
on like
think-
the
He's on
development.
Business development,
Yeah,
but there's a housing one too,
Well,
isn't there?
I think
Or
it's kind of a
sa-
subsection of the other one.
So there's affordable housing,
Mhm.
there's quality housing, there's workforce housing.
What's the one that Main State Housing is starting to fund? It's like 65% of the
Middle housing.
middle housing, yeah. And we have money for a housing study, right?
Well, we applied for a grant in the spring, and then actually I got an email with a letter attached last week that said, due to some kind of glitch, they haven't made decisions on the grant funds,
Okay.
but they will soon. Like literally, was it March that we
Yeah.
applied for that? Yeah.
So
And
one
I
of
keep
the-
emailing them once a
So we have
month.
a section in the plan on.
And we
Yeah.
do have a section that will address the housing issue, but if we look at the old plan, the action point that we had outlined there was encourage public and private collaboration in the development of quality housing, business centers, and universal accessibility. And I mean, there is
Public
an
and
element of this that we could
private.
say that, okay, we like what we had and we could repurpose
Yeah.
it, or we could just reword it or scrap it and start over with our own verbiage. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, she's got it. Yeah, so it's the last line is the one that addressed housing in our last 10-year plan.
Universal accessibility.
I don't know that combining housing with business centers, and
Yeah.
access-
Right,
like,
right,
That's
right.
confusing.
it needs to be separate.
Yeah.
The housing, nothing's really been done on, housing, besides, the housing program.
Right.
Right.
But the big hot topic is the construction of, upgrading the existing housing stock,
Mhm.
reducing blight.
Mhm.
Okay.
So blight reduction would
So-
potentially
so
be a
blight
big.
reduction and,
Generally
Just-
improving.
reduction of blight.
Affordable, 'cause we
improvement
actually
of
had it-
Quality, I like the
We had it
quality.
kind of combine affordable and workforce housing.
Workforce is important.
But
It is.
I mean, that workforce piece could technically move to the business area if we needed to have that represented there as well. But I think if we get too much in the overlap, we're gonna
No, I think
make more
quality,
work for ourselves.
workforce,
I think quality and affordable should
quality,
be,
affordable.
Quality and affordable.
that's my personal opinion. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks so
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Okay, so housing is a big one. Other things that were on that, obviously, we'll weave in family-friendly and all ages, age-friendly to whatever we say here, because I think that's going to be the highlight that
was a
really,
huge thing
that's a
we
big,
used.
big thing for quality of life. To be quality, we need to have it accessible for all ages and all different people.
I don't need to keep, the education piece seems important. We have a wonderful new school that personally I think is, that's a star for the city. Brand new, it's up to date.
They're actually over capacity already. pretty
They are,
much.
yeah. It's my understanding the 8th grade's going to the high school.
That is my understanding as well,
Goodness.
next year.
Yeah, but it's still, that's a phenomenal facility that I think the education piece could tie into.
So
But-
Yeah.
maintain quality.
I mean, we've got a very basic statement, and I don't know who put all these together. So we've got the strong educational foundation. And it could be as simple as that. We don't have to get too wordy that we're gonna kind of weave ourselves into major commitments. But are we okay with something as simple as support a strong educational foundation through the development of our new schools? And, I mean, we've relocated our superintendent's office, so there's
Yeah.
been a lot of,
I would say
Inf-
maintain quality educational opportunities.
Continue
It's
to
the-
maintain.
mhm,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's the largest school district north of Bangor.
supporting
Yeah.
So,
strong,
I mean, that's important for anyone moving to the area. Typically, they're younger with
right,
younger
quality of
families,
life.
You know,
Facilities and
Accessibility, or it's just, and we've had this conversation about like safety for children to be able to walk and go places, you know.
that's public health.
And that's right there too, I mean,
Right.
that's under quality of life too, is that
Yeah.
public safety piece.
Safety was a huge piece, a safe
Yeah.
community, lighting,
Yeah.
good police.
Neighborhood
Yeah.
crime watches, addressing homelessness was also in that
and
category
recovery
of public
from
safety.
substance abuse.
recovery.
That's all in well-being and wellness.
Can we put something in there about providing, well, I'm not riffing here, but I'm trying to grab at a few things. So providing safe walking spaces for children, but also making those spaces intertwined with where people are regularly going to see them, not like through
some wooded area.
a wooded area that has no, or like a blank street that there's hardly any traffic on, or no cars, or,
It's all safety. We
All
can't-
safety.
We can get into that in.
In more
Well,
detail in that
the
section.
Village Partnership Initiative,
Yes.
that was one of the things that it kind of seeks to address,
Mm-hmm.
is like kids getting from the high school to the community school safely. And then, and, you know, what needs to be done there to make sure that that's safe for non-motorized traffic.
Yeah.
Pedestrians and bicycles.
Right, non-motorized, but a lot of it had to do with kids, because you're
Yeah.
trying to connect the two schools.
Right,
And
and they're-
I mean, the community school and the rec center are kind of one area, but it's to connect that, but then also connect to the Mill Pond and the riverfront too, like through Water Street, because it goes underneath the road. So that people can, you know, engage with nature and go to school safely.
yeah.
That's what that kind of, that plan was kind of seeking to address.
Yeah.
Okay. So quality and affordable housing, public safety, education, and encompassing all of that encompassing age-friendly, family-friendly. And of course, that would
Right,
play
age
into the
friendly would
safety
go
piece.
into the public safe, public,
Exactly.
but public health too, I don't know, I think public health and safety. Because another thing that people, they just want a healthy, safe community. And health also is being able to move around safely. That gets into recreation. And also, something that was brought up is that we are a recovery community. We have 2 recovery homes, and there's a lot of recovery centers. Plus, the fact, this is something that I think of, is we don't have any marijuana outlets in this city, okay? That's safety, that's under, we're not gonna put that in here, but it comes up later, okay? But that's all, people want that for Caribou. So to be able to verbalize, you know, a safe, you know, community that, what was that, what was the health? the-
Well-being
Well-being.
was what came up
Safe
a lot
and
with,
well-being, you know,
yeah.
promoting safety and well-being in the community, something like that.
So we may be able to
Public
work
health.
that well-being
Yeah,
into the public safety
word
piece.
well-being came up a lot.
Bethany, are these too many items?
Well,
We may have to
I'm
synthesize
gonna
them.
take basically the top priorities that we talk about here, I'm gonna take them back and draft the bullet statement actions. I
Okay.
just kind of wanted to come and get kind of the priorities for the committee and,
But we have to talk about culture.
what's that?
We have to talk about culture and history.
Yes.
We have to talk.
I know. Okay, so, well, the culture, I mean, we could weave the culture in with the recreational, the recreational and well-being.
See, culture is history, it's entertainment, which was a big thing. People wanted an entertainment venue. Yes, they love the recreation and the nature, but the historical, what that all contributes to, and that's in the history section, is a sense of place, quality of place, a place where people want to come home to, okay? So if you're fostering and like, that's what we work on this all the time. That's what we're doing with the riverfront and the power plant sites. Part of the revitalization of what we want to do down there is, and I took my grandkids down there and explained all this to them. Those are the nexus of where Caribou started, okay? That's where we can have a little museum or a gazebo, or we're gonna put another vision we've had is for a mural on the side of the power station down there. So to block the power station, but to show this is where in 1899, that dam was built to provide power and water for the city of Caribou. There's so much history and culture, and then we can bring in, you know, the natives, the Native Americans, and they're going to be involved in the salmon rearing. Okay, they're working with the Atlantic salmon. So there's all this stuff that's in the plan, that sense of place, quality of life.
And we do have that, we do have the one, there's the second line here, cultivating understanding. That's where that cultural piece came into our old one. And it was more focused on diversity celebrations, which I think we've said.
Well, that was another word that came up, again, at some point, on inclusivity. They want people to feel included in Caribou, okay? So, and that could be under the culture, could be under all ages, age-friendly, because so the seniors don't feel left out, okay? So inclusivity was another important term that came up, and sometimes that gets a little bit, taken a little far. Sometimes, this whatever, what it's called, diversity, that whole.
DEI?
Yeah, that thing. So we want to be careful not to do anything that's, going to be controversial, but yet it came up that people want to feel included in the community.
Okay.
So, but anyway, that's all context and all that stuff.
All right, so we can figure out a way to kind of weave some of these together, because I think the blight reduction and public safety, that can all, I think there's an arc there that could connect them.
And housing.
Okay, so then moving on to the next, the business friendly, maintaining a business friendly environment that enables workforce development as well as opportunities for career and economic growth. And the words that came out through all of the visioning sessions were agriculture, business building, agritourism was kind of a big thing. And I know, Frank, you're kind of cornering the market on some of that right now. Business building, which would include training and workforce development, downtown development, riverfront development, marketing, the business-friendly roadmap for development and outreach. I guess you probably know a little more about that.
That's in the
Just
development committee they're working on.
General infrastructure, basically how we're using our existing areas of infrastructure and where we should grow and make changes, and then incentivizing business development, I guess.
Provide incentives.
Providing incentives. So are any of those topics jumping out?
I've thought for a long time providing incentives would be a huge help. I just don't know that we've ever come up with a real
Incentive program.
firm.
Economic Development Committee wants to.
So that could be one of the bullet points then,
Yeah.
that we're committing to developing an incentive program to help develop and foster new business growth in our.
And business workforce housing, because those go hand in hand.
The business-friendly roadmap, we should put that in there, and that could be the business-friendly roadmap, I think a component of that is available incentives.
Yes,
Right.
yep.
So, And that's one thing, again, looking at this thing from a holistic standpoint, the development committee is wanting a bigger marketing arm for Caribou, which they've mandated revision of the business-friendly roadmap, which would list out, the land use regulations, the permits, the incentives, all that stuff. That's, so they want a higher profile business marketing effort, which I think is warranted. So,
And I feel like
better marketing.
the riverfront, we're already kind of beginning to work on that piece, so maybe it's just a continuation. We can make a continuation kind of a statement about the riverfront
Riverfront
redevelopment.
and downtown
And,
revitalization, that's a recurrent theme.
I can't seem to click on our roadmap here, but.
The business friendly roadmap.
Yeah, I can't seem to click on it.
Right below, right at the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
It's
but
not like highlighting.
It's not working. No working.
You better talk to your website person.
I
was gonna
guess.
say, who's the website person?
That would be Bethany.
I was like, wait a second, hold on.
Although I did not do this.
No,
The link
no.
must be broken or something.
This predated Bethany taking. it.
Hopefully it's not one of the zillions of things I deleted.
So,
We have.
I was deleting like files from 2005 on the back end, and I was like, this is taking up too much space.
so one of the,
Yeah.
big,
Business development.
influences in business building is training and workforce development. And the project that we have going on in the library is gonna be big time into that, if we develop it right. Okay, it's still in, it hasn't even done, we just signed a contract on that. But that's supposed to be a center where people can go do trainings, of course.
Is it workforce related?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a
That was one
component
the
of that.
mandates for that project.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I think that we're not taking advantage of, and I wanted it to be more strongly written into the library grant, is the adult ed,
Yeah.
the technology center. More for, this is for like secondary education, after elementary and high school. I think we can do a better job at providing workforce education.
Can we put in somewhere about upgrading or upkeeping infrastructure to support businesses, meaning high-speed internet, utilities, anything that would fall underneath that infrastructure?
We have a whole section in the plan on that, so the idea in land use planning is to make efficient use of what you already have.
Right.
Okay, and we are a lot overbuilt. What the CED is working on now is a lot of redundancy for resiliency and climate change and all that good stuff. And one of the big moves for that under infrastructure efficiency or use of what is that Route 1 corridor from the Caribou Inn, just to let you know what's happening from the Caribou Inn down to 4th Street.
This is the business-friendly
Yeah,
roadmap?
so this was this was like from COVID time, I think it was right around COVID times, maybe. We made this 2019 or 2020, that time. And then there's sections for each of these stops on the road, like what you need for like permitting and things through code enforcement. If you need to go to the they could take your little car to the planning board. If you need site design review, the building official for building permits, and that you need it's very hard to see. I don't know how I can make it any darker, but certain business licensing through the city clerk, and then economic development. This is where like the different incentives and stuff would come is from this, and it kind of, a person could also go to the website under economic development and see, those different things too. And then, of course, we get to tax assessment, because if you're a business, we gonna tax you. So, yeah.
So I think we could tie the incentives, the program for developing incentives, we could probably also tie in like a more formal training and workforce development commitment, like a plan to generate something more formal, whether it's a committee that's doing something with this business roadmap.
That roadmap is 70 pages.
Well, these were the slides. I did a presentation, and a lot of them are, you know.
Yeah.
What about a presentation on the tech center at the high school?
Yeah.
As part of the workforce? And this has made me think, we really don't have an adult ed program
No.
Library.
in Caribou.
We used to,
Yeah.
right?
She's saying
They
it's
have
coming?
it-
No,
I think they
a
have it at the
program.
tech center.
They have
yeah.
a whole, they have a whole booklet online. And I tried to get that involved in the digital center. It still can happen. But they have access to a lot of online, it's all going online, okay? And the purpose of that library redevelopment is to provide labs and stuff where people can have access. They don't have to go to the high school. I don't think it's a very big adult ed facility up there. I don't know what it is, but they have access to a lot of stuff, okay? And, you know, there's a lot of potential for bringing that.
I don't know that the word gets out to the public.
I
though.
was just going to say that, I mean, there's other communities, I will not say, but like that send out email blasts.
Oh, yeah.
We've got it's similar to like what the rec does, but it's all about just adult education.
And I'm wondering if this would even move, if that piece would even move up under quality of life,
Like
because
well-being?
it's talking about that all ages, the age-friendly
Yeah.
piece, but it's also supporting the strong educational foundation.
Yeah.
And maybe making people aware of these learning opportunities outside of the traditional school setting. I know we just got the access points location for the Agency on Aging, which is now at our library, which means people can access and take programs, learning workshops and things online at the library and be connected to all the agency communities throughout the county. So maybe that could be something that moves up under quality of life, unless we're thinking that the
No, we've got to have
adult ed
workforce
all.
development and training in economic development.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the adult ed piece
Um,
specifically.
Well, I was gonna say, promoting more, high school and secondary, post-secondary education and training. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a facility for it in the library. We're gonna have that. And it's gonna be up to mostly probably the library director and his committee to, you know, take advantage of that. But I sent that to him. I sent that whole, I was really impressed with the offerings of adult ed, but I had to dig to find it, okay? So we can get that out there.
And the
So-
other thing I'm supposed to mention is the library was not included in next week's meeting.
What's next
Oh, you
week's
mean the
meeting?
economic development thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just those two things were arbitrarily selected. They just wanted to select.
No, you mean the members of the committee were, is that what you mean?
I mean, the,
Yeah,
They
it's
weren't
like
invited, you
City
mean?
council, the planning board, the economic development group, but not the library.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I-
weren't
yeah.
invited, is what you're
No.
saying? Okay, we.
Talk to Troy Haney about that.
What's that?
I said, talk to Troy, he's the chair of the
Well, I
development
think what's
committee.
gonna happen is there's gonna be a lot more profile with the library, with that, this new
Mhm.
grant and the new facility.
So do we have anything else to
We've
add
never
to the
had that
business
discussion in
section? Anything on agriculture that we're thinking we should pinpoint?
To support,
Hmm?
to support the agriculture or agritourism or?
Agritourism or how that, I mean,
Well, I was thinking agritourism and appreciation, well, sorry, down in.
Yeah, because that goes into the-
recreation. But it could also be,
Can it be part culture too? Can we weave that into the
for
culture?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure, because I
Right?
mean, that's
So we
the
really-
culture of agriculture up here and farming
it's still our
communities and
backbone of our
Right.
economy.
it really is.
Agriculture and forestry.
I think it can probably be woven into all of these, to be honest. All right.
Natural resources.
Yeah, I just had to send to the school our top 10 taxpayers, and Versant Power, of course, is number 1, but number 2 and 3 are farmers.
Yeah, natural resource-based economic development.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't, you might have to
Okay, so then moving on, enhancing and expanding Caribou's strong foundation of all-age, all-season recreational opportunities. So under this, we have tourism, tourism marketing, promoting and supporting local businesses that serve in tourism. Riverfront development showed back up under this category because we know that we've got recreational trails and things that kind of weave all through there. And that leads to trails, motorized and non-motorized trails, different outdoor spaces, water access, and then what you were just alluding to, the appreciation for natural resources, whether that would look like educating, environmental education, agritourism, different kinds of things.
I'd like to add, under, maybe it's too long, all age, all season, enhancing and expanding Caribou's strong foundation of all age, all season recreation opportunities for residents and visitors alike. Because, or maybe that should stay in economy, I don't know, but, you know, the whole recreation thing is, we've got two parts to it. We've got the tourism part, which is huge, you know, snowmobiling and ATVing and all that, but then we've also got, and that's big for the economy, but we've also got the rec department and the programs and that kind of opportunity. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Well, we can see, these are the bullet points, and I think some of these are probably ones that we may repurpose in some form, or at least pull from, because we do have a really good kind of an infrastructure going with our recreation department, and the programs that they do, and maintaining all the different public lands and park spaces, and just keeping up with everything that we've got going on with the trails. We've got these volunteer organizations that help maintain the trails, and I mean, it's just incredible. So I don't know if you all have any thoughts on some of the priorities for that section.
Water access is huge.
Water access.
River, you know, that comes up, the state wants you to have water access, so that's all the more reason for power plants and riverfront development, and then the mill pond. Gary's talking about putting a dock out into the middle of it so you can walk out and fish from in the middle of the pond, you know. And also, we have like supposedly one of the most spectacular brook trout fisheries. Yeah. We're down the demo, but yeah, it's there.
So water access is something that we're actually working toward with the
Yes.
riverfront development. So that could be kind of a low-hanging fruit bullet point, continue to explore ways to develop water access.
And what you
within our
said about the
community.
rec department, that was a unanimous feeling in our meetings.
Oh, yeah,
That we have a
everyone
great rec
praising them
department.
and.
Yeah.
And one of the things, when I was working with Gary on the recreation section, that I picked up on is he's very good at getting grants, but he's very versatile as far as the needs of the community and adapting the
Yeah.
programs and having something for everybody.
There is something for everybody.
He's really good at that, and then
Yeah.
maintaining his facilities and,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's really good at keeping that going.
All the way from like bowling to like competition
Pickleball.
sports,
I mean, seriously.
everything.
And there are some things that they'll plug and play on repeat,
Yeah.
but they'll integrate new things as they see. I love that they're very nimble that way, and they see where the need is at that time, where the interest is, and they try and plug people in. Okay, so something for everyone, water access, and a lot of it, I mean, because we have such a great recreational program, it's hard to kind of think of more that we should be doing, but
The only
I
thing that
feel-
I think probably came up, and I don't know if this is like a bullet point, but I think camping was one that came up during that recreation thing, because that's kind of like the only thing that we don't really have a whole lot of in Caribou,
Like a campground.
like a campground.
That a
We've got-
person can do like a few nights, because I mean, Troy has his
Right.
campground.
Right, but that's for
a whole
RVs.
season.
Right, but
Yeah,
that's
it's a
only
whole
for like
yeah,
RVs
yeah.
either. So it's like, you know, opportunities for people to, and I think Gary had said something about the North Caribou
North
Park.
Caribou, yeah.
where people, it would be, there'd be trail access, they'd be able to tent site and stuff like that. So that's, I don't know if that's something,
Well, outdoor access,
yeah,
and we don't really want to say. wilderness,
nature
but-
or like,
Yeah, yeah, we definitely want to foster an appreciation. I think
mhm,
we take that for granted, but that's why a lot of people move here,
Mhm.
okay? And I know, again, my grandchildren, I took them down to the mill pond, they didn't even know that was a pond.
mhm.
You know, you look at it, it's definitely not a pond.
It's not a pond
You know,
anymore.
They were just like, they were just like, they didn't get it.
Huh.
They haven't learned all those lessons about succession and vegetation and things like that. They have the kids have no concept of appreciation of, and unless you have a grandma that's a forester. You know, they still don't have an appreciation, they were getting it force fed, but whatever.
Have you seen the geese circle in to land in the pond?
I haven't seen that.
That like about this time of year, they all come and like if they miss the first time, they circle back around and try to
They're
come.
looking for it.
Well, trying to find a
Trying
spot
to
to
find the
land.
water.
Yeah.
It's in there, probably in their DNA.
Uh,
On there.
Yeah.
So is there anything with the trails that we should be highlighting as far as the maintenance? Are there trails that need to be redone? I don't know.
Or even expanding.
Expanding trails?
I would think so. We have-
You're talking about ATV, snowmobile trails?
Any,
Anything.
motorized and non-motorized,
Yeah.
whether it's
Multi-use.
Yeah.
multi-use trails or,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we've got the ATV trails pretty well. It's more like
Yeah.
I mean, then we've got we've got the Cary trails and stuff like that too, but,
like are the mill pond, because I know there's like walking.
There's a boardwalk.
Trails and stuff, like do those,
actually the boardwalk needs some work.
yeah.
Connections.
Yeah,
The trails
yeah,
need to be
Connections.
connected.
right.
And the connection to the riverfront.
Yeah,
Exactly.
continuing that. Yeah, I think we had talked about taking that all the way down
And
Water
multi-use
Street and
is
going.
a big multi-use, when we're talking about
Yeah.
trails, we've got to keep multi-use, which means motorized, non-motorized.
Right, even biking.
The consensus for this
Yeah.
community is the trails are multi-use.
Yeah,
Some communities, they want like this,
Yeah.
the motorized and the non-motorized.
Yeah.
That's not happening here. So.
But when you go and walk like at the mill pond or even just like Laurel and I go, once a week to solve all the world's problems in, 45 minutes for a walk, it's people are walking their dogs, people have strollers. Like, I feel like Caribou is a community that people walk just to get fresh air. And I mean, fresh air is something that we have here in abundance and we shouldn't take it for granted. But people are out there, like every
Well,
time when
yeah.
we're
They want
walking
to be out
outside,
there.
people,
Well, back to the wellness center, you see how much it's used in the wintertime.
it is, yes, yeah,
And so to enhance walking paths
yeah,
Yeah.
outside
yeah,
in other seasons would be great.
I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of people
I
even
mean,
go to the track.
Carries helps, but
yes, yeah. But Carrie's,
Carrie's even has a short season.
It
and
does.
yeah, well, the bugs are bad up
Yeah.
there. Like, so.
I mean, in
you
the
know.
spring, the first day, around the Collins Pond, it used to
Mm-hmm.
be Collins Pond Trail, you just see all these people just out
Yes,
walking in
yeah.
the evening, the first sunny spring day.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, walking in trails and pathways. And,
Yeah, even sidewalk expansion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Or
that's-
even equipment for removing snow on sidewalks. For
We have good equipment, the problem is keeping people to operate the equipment, It seems like,
yeah,
after a few snowstorms, sometimes these people that you hire in the summer are all done because they don't want to be, it's a hard winter for people in public works, It's
I think tying in, again, maybe this is later in the plan, but health and wellness, because we have a really bad health problem in Caribou. Okay, it's really bad. It's a major disparity when we're doing environmental justice work for some of these grants and things. We have really high asthma rates and heart disease.
Cardiovascular, yeah.
And the asthma, it's air quality. There's a lot of higher, this is getting a little bit off, but when I'm doing all this studying on what's going on in this NO, nitrous oxide, nitrogen dioxide, or whatever, it's in the air, it's coming from the fertilizer,
Yeah.
it's coming from the wood stacks, it's coming from just the dust, well, that's the dust on the ground, and radon.
Yeah.
A lot of radon. So we want to promote a healthy lifestyle. That's somewhere in there, you know. And we've got the hospital here. So that's consistency, trying to pull this all together.
Yeah.
So,
Bethany, can I just, with the recreation,
Yeah.
you know, with, not just for the locals, but for the visitors, somehow need to just, we have a tremendous amount of folks that come from away, whether it's for a week or a weekend or a month or every other, that is a huge part.
Yeah.
Economic.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what you had mentioned too, even just changing that third line of the mission to, where instead of stopping it after all season recreational opportunities, adding on for residents and visitors alike.
Yeah, I just,
think will
that's
encapsulate
huge.
that, and definitely, that'll tie in even some of that tourism piece that we were
Right,
wanting to
right, absolutely.
to tie in.
Right.
Yeah, there's so.
Right.
Awesome.
Where do
Okay.
people go, like when they come to town, where do they go to get their trail maps?
Exactly.
Well, that's something that we have talked about, I don't know
Yeah.
how many times,
Yeah.
about there needs to
Having a
be some,
kiosk.
yeah, our
Even
wayfinding
businesses.
is hard
Yeah.
in town. We don't have, I mean, we put here in the city office
Right.
some racks with things, but there needs to be something that people can access, like even when it's not,
Man.
you know, work time.
Right.
24/7 almost availability, just,
Yeah, but we don't,
but where?
where and like who's going to manage that, you know, because we don't, the chamber is in Prescal, and
Yeah.
I think that it's getting better and better, the things that they're doing in Caribou. I mean, they brought the Oktoberfest here, and I think they've, you know, been trying to do more things, but it's up to us to try to,
Get the word.
you know, yes, you know,
But again, if we put these things in the plan.
Right.
They may not be on this
right,
part
right.
of the plan.
But they might be in the
Right.
back
Yeah,
sections
right.
where we have the, you know, these
Economy.
things, you know, that talks about stuff.
Yeah.
But better wayfinding, my God, we've been talking about that for 3 years, like trying to figure
know.
out, you know, how to make it easier for people. It's like, I've had a lot of conversations with Kate from the Old Iron Inn about people that come and they want to just leave her place and take a walk, you know?
Yeah.
Where do they go? You know, where can they, you know,
Yeah.
how can they find their way back? Because everything is kind of confusing in town.
Yeah.
And, but how do we do that? I don't know. It takes somebody smarter than me to figure that out.
We'll need to write
but-
some grants.
Well,
I
when
know
we were
someone who
doing,
loves
when
to
we
do
were
that.
doing the Visit Caribou grant, that was one of the things we wanted to do, and it wasn't eligible for that, you
The
know?
For wayfinding?
is gonna-
But Village
that's
Partnership, that's gonna help with,
Yeah.
with our wayfinding, I
Because they're
think.
big on biking and walking.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They're gonna
non-motorized.
make the walk index of Caribou is terrible.
Yeah. Which is crazy because I feel like I see people walking all the
Yeah,
time.
but they're
but-
putting up with a lot of substandard.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but
Or
I'm
no,
just saying.
no sidewalks or
Right.
sidewalks
I
that
saw
don't
a
have
stroller
turn
on my
downs.
street.
Or
Yeah.
sidewalks that are covered in sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stroller
and-
on the street rather than the sidewalk.
Yeah. and
Right,
they're-
yeah. It
We
depends
don't
on
have the
what-
detectable pavers, we don't have, like, there's just a lot of
Mhm.
deficiencies, you know, but we're
We're
trying to address,
We're
but,
trying to work on it.
All right, well, I apologize for taking more than 20 minutes, but I think I've got what I need to go back and come up with some action step
Don't rely
bullet
on
points. I'm not.
I don't know, I just had that up there so that we kind
No,
of knew
it's
what
good,
we
it's
had
good to
started
look at
with,
what we
yeah.
committed to and what we talked about and the different actions that we were saying we were going to do
Mm-hmm.
and see what's been accomplished, and if we're
Well-
working on it, we need to maybe reword it, that we're working on it and it's
So what's
still
supposed
in
to
the part.
happen is the plan is supposed to be reviewed at least every 5 years,
Mhm.
so.
You're pointing at us like we're going to be here in 5 years.
Well, right, but by the planning board, okay, and maybe a public process, but, right, and we have to put that in there, that that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Any, I don't know where it would fit or anything, but this, what's happening with people retiring and the businesses retiring with them, I don't know if there's any way to stem that tide or to address it, or at least to mention, that's a problem.
Yeah, that would be
Because
good
if
under
you
the
look at-
business, the
You can
business
go around the
section.
community and talk about, okay, so-and-so's in their 70s.
Yeah.
Going to retire, there's no legacy there, there's
Oh, the
no,
locksmith.
Yeah, we were
All
just
of
talking
it.
about that today, yeah.
Keaton?
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Well,
Pat
and Cindy-
Sunoco.
Yeah, and,
just-
Yeah,
Pat,
Pat's.
Cindy Noyes, I was
And
talking to
Noyes-
her a couple
Noyes'
weeks
Flowers,
ago,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, and
yeah,
they tried, and
Yeah,
don't have, so we're going to lose a florist.
yeah.
We're going to lose automotive repair. We're going to
Service
lose,
station,
I mean, there's others that are
Yeah.
getting close.
Well, wasn't there an article about was it all Caribou businesses, or, well, that had just turned, some had closed down and some had turned over. It was,
Subs.
Godin's,
Godin's, yeah,
thank you.
Wardwell's Godin's.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon Auto, and there was one more, and I can't remember what the other one was, but there was an article
Yeah,
about
there
it, but
was a-
it's like,
was a
but there's
story.
no, yeah, it was a story, but there's no, there's nothing, you don't see anything before that, nothing, zero.
So we need to somehow incorporate like some assistance for business succession planning.
Yeah, that would be
Or even just
awesome.
marketing, business marketing for, yeah, succession planning, or,
That can go on, I can add that in economic development.
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because it's, it's one thing to continue a business on, it's quite another to stop a business and then have a period of time go by and then somebody pick the business up.
Yeah, whether it's turnkey or
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring out of the ashes.
right. Dig it out
But yeah,
with a tiny shovel.
they have that for farms. There's different programs that
that help with succession planning.
have, yeah,
That's
there's help
awesome.
in the state. But
State and federally too. I'm sure they don't, farmers are essential, right? They don't want to lose,
Yep.
lose that.
But the same thing applies to all kinds of businesses.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a great
I
thing
think that's
to
a
work
great
in
thing to
there.
think
Yeah,
about,
especially,
yeah.
I mean, we are an older community, that's well documented.
We're planning for the future.
Yeah, so if we are taking a look around and saying, okay, how do we, because a lot of these are very essential to commerce,
Mhm.
and, yeah.
Yeah, Natalie's Reese.
Oh,
Yeah, that one was
Natalie's.
so sudden.
Yeah.
I know, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, how long were they? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
no one retires overnight, and I
Right.
know that I think Natalie's had made a few attempts to kind of back off and hand things over, and she'd let other people come in and sell stuff. So I think that she was trying to work toward kind of a succession thing. And so you don't know how long they're thinking about it, but if there's a point in the process where we could come alongside and say, hey, if you're thinking about retirement and you don't have a plan,
Yeah. Let us help you.
you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
imagine when you've been in a business for that long, it can be kind of hard to say, hey, I don't have anyone to take over my business. I guess my only alternative is to just shut her down. But coming alongside those folks and seeing if we can help
Well,
make a
there-
connection.
There are entities that do comprehensive marketing for a turnkey kind of business beyond the boundaries of where we are in our geography, and
Yeah.
they
For a fee.
they can do a great job. And,
Yeah.
so
Make
you
it
don't have a
seamless.
child that can take over the business.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the story. You know,
Right.
you just got to find somebody that's looking to come to this great
This
city
area.
and have all these benefits and live a different life.
Yeah.
There are people out there that are just not living here.
Right.
Right.
They just don't know.
Right.
That going with business education. Or not business. Isn't that where people are going?
Not that
They're
most
getting their services in
the
other
few of the ones that you
communities
just
is where that
mentioned.
comes from.
They
Yeah.
had been advertising, they had
Yeah.
been, I believe, with agents, realtors,
Yeah,
but
but
they're
the
not
businesses
doing the
I'm thinking
marketing.
I've seen there, they do a comprehensive, you can get a whole booklet about everything about the business, and it's marketed to somebody who
People who are
might be
looking at it,
interested in relocating and
Yeah.
taking on the business where it is and moving it forward. I mean,
It's awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you, Bethany.
Bethany, appreciate it.
When we talk about this. Anyway, run these by.
Yeah, did you want this or not? Or is it just more confusing? Or did you have one? Or did you have one? Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
Thank you so much for.
Yeah, thanks so
for
much, Bethany.
synthesizing all this, or what's the word, sifting and making this all work.
Funneling.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Bethany.
Thank you. All right, who's up on old business?
Kara, did you want to talk about that?
2020.
These were sent to us by Jay, right?
Okay.
But they're
Two new
included in.
sections, we put them in here.
Okay.
Penny and I have already edited a lot, but
Okay.
what you have is the original stuff that just came over from Jay. If you
Yep,
have any markup for us, let us know.
yep. We need the riverfront definitions under chapter 13.
What about that now?
R1, R2, R3, C1. We got rid of C1, C2, right?
Wait. What are we talking about?
On
like
page
page
5,
6.
6, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Right?
different districts.
Yeah,
right.
we need that all updated.
Okay,
We got
so-
rid of the I2 district, didn't we? We got rid of, so we have an airport district. We have the 3,
Where is
res-
this? Is this written anywhere?
it's on
Yeah.
it's that land use one that you just sent him, that you emailed to me. It has all of the different zones, and then it has a different definition of the zones. Let me pull it up in my email.
Oh, my.
Do, 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 do.
So I have that in the document.
You sent it to him.
Okay.
You sent it
Jay, okay.
to Jay. All right, hang on.
So is that just a cut and paste kind of thing?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's in an Excel.
But I guess I thought this was supposed to be like, this was kind of the
This is
current
what
thing.
So he did not take that into account, which.
No,
we're
so the
asking him to do
proposed,
that.
so we have the proposed, you sent him the Excel file that had all of the proposed land use, land
Okay,
use
so it's in
types. So we've got R1, R2, R3. We have a multi-use district, which is not here, MU1, C1, C2, I1. We got rid of the I2 district. H1, we have an airport district, and then we have all 6 of the riverfront zones as well.
And that's on that,
That's in that Excel file, and then at the very bottom of that Excel file, there's a definition
okay.
for all of the different districts.
Okay. I just forwarded all that to him.
Yeah.
because I'm hoping that he's gonna reconcile all this, and
Yeah.
we haven't, sometimes we hear from him and sometimes we don't. So I did send all that stuff to him like
Yeah.
last week before I even sent it to you, and hoping he's gonna.
Well, I thought there was supposed to be a new land use section.
We
So
do
I
need
guess,
a new land use
I
section.
guess
We
I
need
was
to-
thinking this was kind of the old,
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
right.
Like
So-
existing, because I think he had to do
Oh,
existing
yeah.
and then we were
Oh, okay,
transitioning
you're
to
right.
new.
You're
But
right. So this land use section is existing land use.
because then
Okay.
he does like analysis
The
and then.
riverfront hasn't been accepted yet. has it?
No, it hasn't, but
No.
that's the whole thing. We need to do
Yeah.
it
So
all at
of
the
that
same
new
time.
stuff has to be redone, put in a new map,
Right,
and defined.
right,
With the new land use tables,
right.
and
We need
he
to-
just needs somebody to do that.
So
Yeah.
do we need to, well, I was hoping to do it all at one fell swoop, because
Right.
it's got to go through planning board, then it has to go through
Right.
public hearing here, then it's got to go over the
Somebody's
city
gotta do the actual
council.
work of putting it all
In the map,
together.
yeah.
And then we have to do, but we need to accept the changes to chapter 13, the new land use table, and the updates to the zoning map. And then it has to go over to the city council
Yes.
and be included in the comprehensive
The
plan.
future land use
Yeah,
section.
Yeah.
So this is existing,
Yeah.
what you have, okay? And he's working on a future,
Right, the future.
which hopefully he's incorporating all this new stuff.
okay.
Um,
So this is just basically what was in the comprehensive plan from
Well,
last
and I think
time.
the analysis
Yeah.
of, you know, kind of the.
Taking inventory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and,
So this is, I think you all have one of these, but I made some more. This is the proposed
Yep.
last one, and
Yeah, you've got to take that,
And continue it.
that.
Right, and so that's the big change that you see that, and so we don't even have the software to change these maps.
So, and then the other thing too,
So that's
remember
what
when
I'm
that?
saying, where our hands are really tied as far as putting this all together and presenting it,
Right.
having it formally
Need to pay a ransom
accepted
or
by the
what?
planning board, and
Didn't we discuss that at the last meeting?
so we're
about-
trying to get.
Yes, we have a note, but the thing is, I don't know how to use like ArcGIS.
I can't get the files to even load.
Oh, no
They
kidding.
can, NMDC ought to be able to do it for us.
I just don't know if whatever was, that's why I was asking about Ken's computer, because I think that whatever was uploaded the last time would be there in the file. It would just be like, oh, open, you know, what was recently opened, and open it, and it should all load.
Yeah.
I
his
just can't get it to
Yeah, his
load.
computer has
happened
been like, but I
Next.
have but I do have
All
the,
we
Hard
have is
drive.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I dug all that stuff
Yeah.
out of his file.
The only other thing I was going to ask about this map is, do you remember when that guy came in and wanted to build a shed
Yes,
on,
yeah.
is that updated on this?
No, because we haven't been able to update anything, and I don't think that, I don't have one of those, but I don't think it was, I
So
don't,
does he want it to be, right now it's R3.
he wants it to be R2.
Right, and then that's what it is. He wants it to be so we just need to extend that R2 district
Just a little.
just to the West Presque Isle Road. I mean, the East Presque Isle Road. R2.
To those that are, yeah, well, yes,
And
from
it's
the
really just
trail.
one side, isn't it?
It's
Yeah, it's
just that
just the
one
one
side.
side where we have those like little cluster of
Yeah.
small lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is? Do you want me to show
Yeah,
you?
no, it's just not, it's, you asked the question if it was on here.
It's
and
not.
It is not, yeah.
Right, and then the
We
multi,
have to know exactly,
yep,
Yeah.
like, what street it's
Yep.
going up to.
Yeah.
yep.
And-
It's
and
not
then-
even a street, it's whatever that last parcel
It's
is that's
that-
teeny
yeah.
tiny.
Well, if you
But we
just
wrote
look
it,
at
it's
that,
in the
I'll give it to
minutes of
Jay.
one of the meetings.
Mark one up with the.
Right here,
What's gonna be the final
yep,
zoning, and then put that MU, the mixed use.
R2, and then mixed use.
So we have RF 1, 2, and 3, oh, that's riverfront, okay, 6 riverfronts, and then airport,
Pretty much.
2 Cs, health.
It goes all the way,
It
it
goes-
goes all the way, we were gonna take it all the
Right, To
way.
that point, right?
Because it goes all the way, it hits Route 1 and then goes.
Right. So it's a little
MU,
bit beyond that.
MU, all the way
Right.
So like that big giant
to
lot,
Route,
I mean, that
1
whole
and
thing would be
beyond.
Mixed use?
No, we were gonna do, what were we gonna do? 200 feet deep, all the way.
Oh, you're gonna, is that defined already?
200
We
feet deep
talked about that.
Yeah, they talked about it
at Big Lots.
I think we had voted on it, decided.
Well, we haven't voted
or
on
not
it, we
voted, but
proposed
had-
it.
Right.
Has to be written
Yep.
in words and definition. Okay. So is
I don't know if Jay can
200
read
foot
it.
thing in there?
I said, MU all the way, mixed use all the way to Route 1 and beyond, 200 feet deep at Big Lots.
Okay, so he's gotta put that in
Yeah, and
legal
then,
speak.
right, and then
The
that,
R2 goes up to the end of
that,
those little
whatever that
lots.
little last lot is, that's
Okay.
R2.
So other than that,
I think that's everything that everybody has come in recently. You know,
Okay.
it was that, the old laundromat house, they wanted that to be,
Fallen to the, right.
They wanted to be able to have first floor residential.
right, so they
Because-
wanted it residential, which mixed use would cover
Yeah.
that. This guy wanted R2, and we decided to,
okay.
I have a feeling they're already doing it. I saw that there's a sign that says for rent, and then they have like shades
believe
pulled
so.
down. But it doesn't look like a business. I have a feeling they're
So I
just doing
found
what they want to
this.
do.
So I think this is, I don't know if you want to go over this first before I give it to Jay. But
What
this
is that?
like changes that Ken wrote.
no, you have the last set of changes that we did from the riverfront.
But he's got like a
Yeah, I just don't know what,
the mixed use district, he added that in.
Well, this is the,
This is why we have to hire somebody. to
this
do
is the,
Yeah.
this is the revisions to chapter 13.
Right.
Right, not the land use table.
I
So
know,
if
they
he
have
takes
it
the
in
land
there.
use table and integrates it back into this, he'll be fine. Everything is on the land use table.
Sorry, that was a really good sigh.
Everything is in the land use table.
You have to tell that to Jay.
Everything is in the land use table.
But there's no land use table in that.
There is, but the new land use table needs to be integrated into chapter 13 and the definitions.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I don't know what this is. Mixed use, right, he has, a mixed use district. It looks like he has some revisions that he has started,
Right.
but we have not adopted it.
Right.
Right, so this is,
So basically.
but
he
we did
needs to
this.
reconcile, he has to write the new zones and then.
Which you gave him.
Reconcile the allowed uses, well,
Yeah.
just reference the land
Yeah,
use table.
this is the land use table, but
Right.
this is not the one that,
Not the most recent one.
that is not the most recent one.
Right.
This is the old, this is, I don't know. I feel like we've got more than
Maybe-
one,
should I even give him
two,
that or not?
3. Yeah, there's only 3 pages of land use, I think. Oh, this doesn't even have the,
River.
this doesn't have the riverfront.
No,
so
no, this is
that's-
old
That's
stuff.
old.
This is, I mean, Ken's been
So
gone
is
for a
that-
long time.
No, this is
Too
old,
old?
Is
very
it too
old.
Should I like not even give it to Jay?
I mean, I would give it to him and be like, old for reference only.
So it needs a disclaimer.
Yeah, put a big disclaimer on that.
Attention, if he, I'm hoping that he's gonna make this happen, because.
Old for
otherwise
reference
we're gonna have to find
only.
another contractor to do it, because this is a big job for somebody that
Yeah.
knows about zoning ordinances.
Yep.
Okay, and that's not me, that's not Penny,
Yeah.
that's not you guys.
Yeah.
So, is that something we need to consider?
Yeah, well, if we can, I wish.
I mean, if we can get them to do it, great, but maybe hiring that out?
They'd have to, it would be awful, because they have to start from scratch.
Well, but
I mean, we have the.
can
land
we
use
work
table.
with what they have produced so far? Try and,
So the definitions, we have definitions for the new zones, right? In that Excel that you said.
The definitions for the zones are at the bottom of that Excel sheet. I saw all of them.
Okay,
Yep.
including, but the riverfront one's on a separate sheet.
No, the riverfronts are in that, no, the
In
riverfront.
that same document?
In that same
And
Excel.
it's in that email, because
Yes.
what I did was, I went through Ken's finally, so all we have of Ken is, the IT guy downloaded all his files.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the software.
Right.
That was on subscription, okay? So
Right.
we don't have the software, and we wouldn't know how to use it anyway. So we have the files. So I finally went through all the files and pulled out the relevant stuff,
Mhm.
which I sent to Jay and I sent to you,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I didn't really even look at it. But, I mean, to notice that, oh, this is the thing we need to redo the zoning,
Yeah.
okay? And so there's a little bit of a gap in getting his attention on this stuff, okay, that's all.
I think they just have a lot going on. They
Yes,
have a
that's
lot
what I
of
mean.
like big grants and stuff they're working on. There's a lot of transportation projects. I think it's like anything else. I mean,
We just
everybody's
have
got
to
a lot
kind of pin
going.
them down, and it may be at the next meeting. I think, is he coming to the neglectful acts workshop?
We haven't scheduled one unless we're
Well,
gonna
I
do it
think
on
it's
the
gonna be on the
21st.
21st.
Okay.
But when we talked about it at the last meeting, he was here.
yeah, right.
And did he indicate that?
I think
would
that
go?
he had, didn't he lead us to believe that, I hate to put it that way, that he intended to,
To come.
yeah, in hopes that he would have had time to bring up.
So I would suggest at that point, Amanda, maybe. How are you?
And, because we need to,
If he's not able to, then we have to, but he should be able to.
well, we can still, you have this in a PDF, right?
Yeah, that's what that got printed from.
So can we, can somebody do some
Editing, little,
PDF magic
yeah.
on this and update the ArcGIS at a later date?
I mean, really, you're just talking about adding some colors.
Well, the colors are there,
Not
it's
like
just,
physically drawing.
Well,
well, I mean, like this ArcGIS map isn't on our website, it's a PDF on our website. right? We just need somebody to, like, somebody produced this PDF, right? So it says proposed zoning, well, we just changed that from proposed to current zoning map, and do those tiny little updates
Right.
in PDF, and then have it done in maps later.
Mhm.
Right, but we also have to have the ordinance we've done to match,
Correct,
to back it up.
correct. Right,
I mean, that's minor compared to
right,
this, updating this.
right.
whole thing.
So that's what we need. We need chapter 13
Rewrite,
adjustment, update
update.
for the new land use table to go with the new
Yes.
GIS map.
Exactly.
Yes,
The new definitions.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, they're all on the map here,
they're all there.
and, it's just been so disjointed. That's, I think we finally have all the documents in one place that we
Mhm.
need.
Okay,
So, I'm gonna try to get him in person.
so housing is in here too?
Pardon?
Housing is in here too?
Yes.
So you need us to review housing and provide comments as well, or are we good there? Is this just
No, I
for?
mean, any of it that you wanna read over.
Okay,
Heaven forbid that we have this all done and we read it and find something.
okay,
I've read through it the last couple of days, and, I mean,
Yeah.
it reads well. I didn't find anything that,
I'm.
Well, you
Stuck
are the
out.
chair of the housing.
Yeah.
you know, I
Uh,
didn't.
Right, oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
said it to Lisa and him, right?
No, but
No.
JR is the,
Right. But you
chair
said-
of that
You
committee.
sent it to Lisa to review.
I
Did
did
we?
send it to Lisa, I
Oh,
did.
good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Sorry, I
Have
don't
we-
even remember.
Response.
What day is
She
it?
thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So,
I
yeah, no,
felt
I
that.
I
was fine.
did find some more drafts, again, I don't know, I could work on this forever, but I did find some more drafts and updated info on the main housing site
I mean,
this afternoon that can be incorporated into.
so like, I highlighted some areas that, you know, are more of concern than question on your numbers or anything like that, but
I wonder if they're the same ones that, like, there were
Yeah,
some
Penny
of the
went
things
over
in
that
there.
with- She went and got all the building permits.
Oh,
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went through and like
Right.
double checked some of the things and, yeah.
and really my like biggest things were just the numbers and the percentages and the number of units and so on.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm
you'll see that
confident
there's one,
you've
like
got-
2019, there was like 45 units, and I was like, okay, I have to fact check that. But we had 38 at Hilltop.
Sure.
You know, there
That's
was
included.
one of the condos, plus we had some single family.
Yep.
So in the end, it tracked, but it just looked like such a big number
Yeah.
that you're like,
It's
oh,
huge
okay, well,
compared
that's,
to
yes.
7 and 6 the
Yes.
year before and after.
Yes.
Yep. No, I mean, I highlighted some stuff and.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
no,
you
that'd
know,
be
but-
great,
If you
yeah.
could just pass it on to us.
Yep,
we'll
sure.
Review the comments.
I will.
Great.
I think I found a couple things.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, what'd you find?
It's either page 11 or 14, depends on which number you look at.
Okay,
14 on the bottom, but
okay.
administrative capacity says that the planning board consists of 7 members.
Oh, yeah.
and
Two associates.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
no, that was something that we
So
corrected there
have-
too.
Penny and I have edited some of those obvious things out, some of the grammar and stuff, so.
And then over on 16 or 19, timber harvesting requirements, I think we gave that back to the state, didn't we?
Yeah, we don't do anything with that, it's all the state.
so we'll schedule the neglectful acts
For the same night,
workshop, might as well.
Yep.
21st.
We'll do the public hearing
Because the public
first.
hearing is not gonna take.
No, it'll take
long
us
time.
5-10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll open it and close it and review the packet and,
Just know, I'm not really sure when I'm gonna be able to get this work done, because literally, but anyway.
neglectful
I have
acts.
three trainings over the next 2 weeks, 2 of which are out of town.
What did you mean about neglectful?
so we have to have a packet for the 21st, and I get home the 28th, I mean, the 18th. So I just don't know when, but that's my problem. not
I can
anyone
do the
else's
agenda.
problem. Well, I'm talking about, see, we have to go through the application, and we
Yeah.
have all of these different things in here to make sure that it's in compliance with,
But it's not the site, is it the full site design application that she has to go through?
well, we have to at least consider those things.
Right.
But, yeah, anyway.
Neighbors,
Yeah, we have to
Have an issue
like
with
get
something
the, notify the neighbors that we're having the public hearing.
Yeah.
But at least in the country, it's big lots, so you don't
Right.
have as
There's-
many people.
there's a
It's
lot
not
of
like
space
in-
between.
Yeah, there's a lot of space
Yeah.
in between, which is good.
And there's farmland and,
Yep.
I mean, I'm very familiar with the location. There's not,
Yeah.
is there really anybody that close?
Well, we still have to do anybody that would be within 500
Sure,
feet.
right.
But it's not like in town where
Right.
like if you have to do something there, you're sending out like 30
Dozens,
letters. You
right.
might have 8 out
Yep.
there.
Right.
But the work is done by people and it, takes time
Yeah.
to do things.
It's what, 500 feet?
500 feet.
So, but for the workshop, you don't have to have all that done? The letters and all that, or do you?
It's going to be the same.
It's going to be
Same
for
night.
they're going to have a public hearing, but then a workshop on neglectful acts.
Right
Oh,
afterwards.
okay, so the public hearing, you would have had to have the letters go out already?
Yeah.
No, not already. It'll just, I'll have to figure out how to get this
Notify.
done, that's all. But it's nothing to take up time in a meeting for, I'm just saying. It may just be thrown together, I'm just saying.
Do we have to have a public hearing?
I haven't read it.
Like,
I have not
for-
read it yet. Like, I got it
I
tonight.
did read it really quickly, and it said if there's it's really subjective, if it's a significant impact. Did I
Okay.
read that? Site design approval and notification, 27, because I happen to have this right here.
I don't think that our ordinance probably talks about this particular use
Yeah.
very
Right.
much.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
But I don't
Can
know.
we call it a home business?
Oh, yeah, there you go, home-based business.
Can we?
I mean,
A
Maybe.
public
I mean,
hearing
kind
shall
of
be-
it is, right?
A public hearing shall be scheduled for any application if the proposed development poses the potential for significant impacts to municipal facilities or natural resources. Said hearing shall be conducted prior to final action on the application.
God, Penny, I don't think
So
there's that
that's
much within
under,
500 feet of them.
Yeah, but,
Site
you do
design
raise a
approval.
good point. I mean, could they
Can we
do this
just-
as a home occupation? And then
Because
we could-
she doesn't have to get state approval. She has to get USDA approval, but she doesn't have to get
For a
state
certain
approval.
part of it.
For game, that's all she's going to do right
Doesn't
now.
need anything.
No, most of the
Just
people,
you guys.
yeah,
Something to consider.
something to
Yeah.
think about.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think?
I'm
This
all
is what
for-
I would do.
I'm all for it.
I would
Yeah.
just call Steve. Steve, what do you think? Oh, there we go.
I think most people would not have even called City Hall.
No,
Right?
They would have put the word out and put up the,
Oh,
and it doesn't, she
put up the
doesn't need,
hoist and,
it's not one of these things where the state is like, oh, well, you have to get approval from the city before you can do it.
There's
She doesn't even need
absolutely
that.
nothing.
And
But-
and it's all confined in one outbuilding.
Yeah,
So it's not like it's,
Okay, so the CEO shall notify all property owners within 500 feet, and then it says, the notice will, and then inform the property owners of the application at least 14 days before the first workshop meeting. So do we have 14 days? Yes.
yes.
well, it's the
You know,
21st, so that means we'd have to get them in the mail like Saturday, so they could have
No,
them
but-
Monday.
The property owners of the application.
Oh,
So her-
okay.
She's here.
Yeah, she
notified
was
14 days
notified, yeah.
Before the meeting, before
Mhm.
the workshop. So that is taken care of.
Yeah, but what they're saying is, can we just call it a home-based business
Yes.
And skip all
and
that.
just,
Not a site design review?
correct.
Right.
Just a home-based business. Yeah. Great idea. Then on the 21st, all you have is neglectful acts.
Yeah.
Then we can just,
let her.
Yeah.
yeah. Do we even have to, that doesn't have to go to public hearing?
No.
Yeah, no.
Then you can just, we'll make sure that Jay can come.
and I don't know that
And
the
Dave is
arbiter
here.
part covers wild game.
I think you're right, because she doesn't need a state,
It's not beef and sheep and,
not yet,
so that's,
She wants to, but she has to get USDA approval before she can do that.
right.
so.
Yeah, so
It's
maybe I just tell her to come in tomorrow and pick up your thing. Your cooler's coming tomorrow, come get your
Rock and
home
roll. Yeah.
occupation permit and you're all
I mean,
set.
she's not slaughtering them there anyways.
No.
There's one on Route 1, people roll in with dead animals all the time. I mean, it's not unusual to see a dead moose rolling around in Caribou, so.
No, we don't even notice it anymore.
Is the one on Route 1, not 161 going north, is that on the Woodland side? Or is that on the Caribou?
He's closed
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's one in Woodland, I know
Yeah.
that, but I
That's
don't.
Woodland, yeah.
on the Woodland Center Road.
On the Woodland Center Road, yeah,
Okay.
Josie Hempfell, but I don't think there's another one in town.
Well,
No,
there is,
What's his name from Hannaford,
yeah.
the meat cutter?
Yeah.
Right.
I
That
can't
guy.
remember. I can't remember.
Can't remember his name either.
Is he just working out of his garage too?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
There you
Oh.
go.
there you go. There's some
Okay,
precedent.
so, well, I think I'll just contact her and say, yeah, we're just gonna permit this as
Lasardi.
a home base, yeah.
Yeah,
Lasardi.
yeah.
Good to know, maybe I'll set up a.
Yes, there you go. Put those kids to work if they wanna be in all these extracurricular activities.
Lasardi's Wild
Yeah.
Game Meat
Does he have
Processing.
a
Yeah.
occupation permit?
I don't think so.
He's got a Facebook page.
Well, I don't have Facebook.
Says Caribou,
Yeah.
Maine.
Yeah,
We're not, yeah.
yeah, okay,
The
Yeah.
bandwidth and all that.
yeah.
He does, you know.
Great decision.
Problem solved.
There you go, see?
Check done.
We're
All
gonna
right.
put that in the comprehensive plan. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Staff report?
Well, I don't have any grant updates from, before, I mean, I gave you them, a couple weeks ago.
I
That's
I
fine.
say that because you have a lot.
Yeah. The only thing that new that's happened with grants, but I don't have it in the thing, but we signed on the library grant this week, so that's all set. And then we finally got our 8-step early notice, is that what it's called? Today, I've seen it so many times, I haven't even read it, because I have to just keep changing the little things. But that got approved today, so we'll have that out. That's on the NBRC. We've sent the draft environmental assessment again, hoping that gets approved. We had a contractor, a brownfields contractor here today that's going to help us with our cleanup grant application. But he thinks we should also be doing a community-wide assessment grant application too. Yeah, good times. So, yeah. And then blight, John sent out a lot of letters before he left. People are calling in, and we're getting some of those things all taken care of. I was last week years old when I learned that code enforcement has to send out letters to rubbish haulers that are not licensed. Why is that code enforcement? Do you know, Steve? It's in our ordinance. as
Yeah,
code
actually,
enforcement.
they get inspected every year by the police chief.
Yeah, but why isn't the police that has to go chase these people down?
It always has
Why is
been.
it code enforcement?
Yeah, it's always been the police.
Yeah, I know, but in the code, if you read the code, it's code enforcement. So anyway, we sent out letters to 3 different rubbish haulers. 2 of them have already come in, and one of them is coming in next week because they're out of town. So everyone will be licensed again. And I was very glad the last 2 weeks that my husband goes to the dump with our trash. Because they couldn't accuse me of saying, well, you're looking the other way because they pick up their trash. Because that was, we had an employee that the other rubbish hauler accused her of looking the other way because one of them picks up her trash. And I'm like, I will always buy my husband a dump sticker. I don't care if they're $300 because I'm never having someone accusing me of looking the other way because someone picks up my garbage.
Wow.
It was not a good scene. But we've got everybody in compliance, but I don't know these things until someone, starts complaining and disparaging the character of city employees, well then, okay, well, we got to figure out who's the one that's got to enforce this. Oh, it's code enforcement. Great. We sent out letters. People are in compliance. Like, it took 2 weeks. It didn't even take that long to get it done. It's just we didn't know, you know. And I think it could have been done maybe in a way that was a little bit kinder to people. But again, I guess, you know, I will never engage a rubbish hauler because I don't want to be accused if I don't know that they're, I mean, how would I know that they were licensed? I don't check, I work here, but I don't check to see if people are licensed. Anyway, yep, that was one of the things. Yeah, we've had a rash of rabid raccoons.
Really?
Yes, we've had like 3.
In town?
Yes.
Like, in town, in
In
town?
in the town, yeah, in the urban compact zone. Yeah.
4 tons, couple BB guns, couple
Yeah.
Take a little more than that.
Oh, no.
Well, the
22?
Oh, I thought you said a BB gun.
Oh, no.
No. There's like, I
more
think there's
tens.
been 5 in Aroostook
Sure.
County, but 3 of them have been in Caribou.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
That is not good.
So they did do the dropping of the
feed or whatever that is?
Yes, yeah, the I don't know, some kind of something, rabies vaccine or something that they eat, because they weren't coming this far north, because there hadn't been a rabid animal for so many years. They weren't coming this far for a few years, and so now they realize they have to because of these animals.
Yeah, they stopped in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Really?
That far.
They drop it from planes,
Yeah.
apparently.
Is that what all the helicopters have been flying around doing?
No, I think they're picking up people that have medical emergencies. We've had so...
Okay, because I was like, well, that's too many helicopters to be all medical emergencies, but you're saying it has
We've had a
been.
lot.
Because they fly
Yes.
past my house.
Yeah.
And I hear them.
They do it twice because
Yes,
they'll
they
leave
fly
their
in.
crew, then they go and
Yeah.
fuel up, and then they come back.
Yeah.
So they come around my window, and of course I had the air conditioner off. Like, so all summer I don't hear them because my air conditioner's going. But now that I have it off,
Been a lot.
it's been a lot.
I thought they
Crazy
were
amount.
like training or
Yeah.
something. It's been a lot.
Been a lot. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so blight, we're coming good on that. 15 Prospect Street is down. I'm not sure if at our last meeting if it was down or coming down at the time.
The ground is all
The ground
flattened
is
out,
all-
it's mulched, seeded
Yes,
mulch, so
yeah.
all cleared.
Looks good.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've got to talk to Rick about getting like a writ of attachment on the place, just so he can't sell it before we can do our
Yep.
special assessment for the cost of
Yep.
the remediation. It's something all the time. But anyway, that got done. 91 Collins Street got cleaned up. 20 Pioneer got cleaned up. I mean, we're making progress. It's interesting that no one comes to meetings to say, gosh.
Good
you guys
job.
were- Yeah,
Thank
you guys were
you.
doing a good job of cleaning
Yeah.
that up. But they're happy to come and complain and scare off code enforcement officers. So, good times. Yep. So anyway, it's just all good news as far as I know. I mean, we have a lot of good things happening. People want to notice or not, I don't know. But
Thank you for that riveting staff
Yes.
report, Penny.
yes, everything. The only bad thing is these rabid raccoons. I don't know.
One more thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, item
Climate
number
change.
Maybe.
I don't know. So I'm gonna blame it on.
Item number 7, I would entertain,
I would make a motion.
have a
To
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn. Seconded by Frank. We'll take a roll call vote. Steve?
Yep.
Frank?
Yes.
JR?
Yes,
We are adjourned
thank you.
at
7:40.
7:40. Actually, 7:38. Yours is fast.
I got fast on it. Interesting. Rabid raccoons. Oh, shoot, there goes my little, I lost a little clown nose.
You were playing games.
I was just green.
You were. You're playing football. I've
Thank
seen the
you.
kids do that.